I am the child of an age gap relationship. I, me, her, us, we.
You made a comment about how you don't date women over 36.
Yeah, I'm tired of them. Understand it. I want me a little nice young tender something that's gonna appreciate me, that's gonna tell me I smell good, that's gonna tell me they like my shoes sometimes. It's not all about you, and I think older women has got it f***ed up. I like mine young and tender. I want mine young and tender and needy. I want to call me daddy and say thank you, baby. Cause I want to pop out and she looking like a snack.
Bishop Demetrius CYNPLE of the Kingdom Church in Texas called for a full investigation into the November 15th marriage of Des Moines Bishop Dwight Reed and Jordan Reed of the Christ Apostolic Temple. Dwight Reed is 63 years old and Jordan Reed is 19.
This marriage tears at the very fiber of the social constructs of the African American family.
That's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her.
So this will be a sensitive topic for a few people. So if you're easily offended, then you should probably exit stage left. The conversation that we're going to have today, some people be like, oh, you're not supposed to talk about this, or you can't say things about this, or, you know, you and your husband are the same age, so you can't talk about this. Well, me, Cynthia, Shalissa, I am the child of an age gap relationship. I, me, her, us, we. When my parents met, my mother was 19, my father was 30 or 31. I know the number, but my daddy is looking at me in the face, so I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm gonna say 30 or 31. With me saying that, love my dad, he's not in this realm anymore. He's like floating around, probably irritating the crap out of God. Even though me and my father had a great relationship as a child coming up, I knew it. Like, the older I got, I started to piece things together, because like one of my aunties, every time my dad would come around, she'd be like, hey cradle robber, hey cradle robber, you know. So she used to say that to my dad all the time. I'm used to hearing that. So of course, once I got to older, I'm like, what is that? Like, why does she keep saying that? And then it was explained to me. So I said that not to tell a lot of my business, but so when y'all be like, oh, you can't say it, oh, you have an opinion, oh, shut up, okay? Because I'm the result. Hi, Shalissa, I'm the baby. I'm the love baby, right? Okay. When I see videos like this, it's really triggering for me.
You made a comment about how you don't date women over 36.
Yeah, I'm tired of them. I'm tired of it to the point where it's like the older you get, the more serious you want to get out of life, and your seriousness don't involve me, don't involve men. I'm tired of women bragging about their credit score, their LLCs, and all this shit. I own my own business, and that you own your own business, but your business ain't making no money. Like, we're getting older. For a woman my age, we're getting older. Let's start respecting and loving each other, on each other. Stop making it all about you, all these rules, lower your standard. I want me a little nice, young, tender something that's gonna appreciate me, that's gonna tell me I smell good, that's gonna tell me they like my shoes sometimes. It's not all about you. And I think older women has got it f***ed up to the point where you doing all this little girl shit, but you still acting like an old ass witch. So I like mine young and tender. I want mine young and tender and needy. I want to call me daddy and say thank you, baby. Cause I want to pop out and she looking like a snack. I'm tired of with all these rules and regulations, what they don't do, what they ain't gonna do, and all that shit. I don't want to hear all that. Get your ass in that kitchen. You always want to go out to eat. Go cook a nigga something. The older you is, the more you should know. Know better and you do better. I went up a little bit too. I'm up to 40 right now, but I ain't going past 40 ever in my life. One thing about a younger woman, I know her anger. When she open her mouth, she gonna tell me what kind of woman she is off the rip. She don't got no hidden secrets. She gonna let me know exactly what I'm dealing with, so I know how to deal with her. I know how to follow. A woman have me I like certain shit. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with love. I believe in love at first sight, the same way I believe in on the first night. Make me wait 3-4 months and you're mediocre, then well, you just wasted my time.
The reason that things like that are triggering for me is because I think that it's disgusting. Something that I had a really big issue with, because I didn't get to go by the time I really sat down and thought about my parents' age difference and really like cracked down on everything, my father was already dead. So we're no longer in this realm. So the only person I could talk to was my mother, and my mother was the younger person. So it was like, I'm only gonna get a certain perspective because my issue isn't with the woman, it's with the man. So it wasn't the same type of situation as like what you see with R. Kelly and all of the other people. It wasn't like that. My mother ended up having my dusty brother a little younger, and my father was the mental health counselor at the school, at my brother's school, right? One of the guidance counselors at my brother's preschool. So that's how it ended up happening. So when my father met my mother or saw her for the first time, he saw her as a mother in the school of a kid that she was, you know. And when they met, she was 19, but then by the time she actually gave him the time of day, she was 19 going on 20. Okay, so with all that being said, right, when I see certain videos like this, it really disgusts me, because I did have miniature conversations with my father about this, and the details and things of that nature that I learned, it was like, okay. Still, again, obviously, like I said, I had questions and concerns that I could never get answered because my father wasn't alive. But when my father died, my mother was just turning 50. Okay, my mom was just turning 50 years old. Or no, she was about to be 49 when my father passed away. So then you could do the math here on how old my dad was when he passed. So at that point, by the time my father had met my mother, he had already been to the military. He had already he already had one kid that said she was his daughter, but he never got a DNA test, so she's still walking around now saying she my sister, and I don't know. And I'm not taking her DNA test, she's weird. And then he had already been married and divorced, was divorced 5 years before he even met my mom. Okay, already had a set of twin daughters, and by the time I was born, they were like 16, 17 years old. So even though, yeah, my parents had a beautiful marriage and a great life together, my father had already lived one full lifetime or one marriage and all of these experiences, and my mom was at the very beginning of hers, the very beginning. So there were things that she was supposed to experience that she didn't experience, because it was like, oh, he already did it, he'll show me. Oh, he already did it, he'll do it. He already did it, he'll do it. And because my parents were not equally yoked, when my father died, my mom had went back to who she was when she met him. So mentally back to 20, oh my God, what do I do? Because when you have a great husband, that's how things are, especially when he's older. So there are things and experiences that y'all are experiencing together, but at the same time, the triggers and the different things that you learn, they're not being exposed in the same way that they would be if you were with somebody that was in your age group, if y'all was experiencing things around the same time, right? If you were going through the same health things at the same time. Like me and my husband right now are 2 years apart. He's 2 years older than me, so no, we're not the same exact age, but we were in high school at the same time. The music was like, all of the experiences are aligned, everything's around the same thing, and it's not so different. Now again, my childhood was freaking amazing growing up, so I'm not speaking to anything negatively that happens outside of that, but at the same time, the energy that you see from these weirdo men online and the energy that my father had was two completely different energies. Like, my mother wasn't a doormat. My mother wasn't like, oh, my dad telling her what to do and stuff like that. No, like, my father loved my mother, like loved my mother. And anybody who knew my dad knew how he felt about my mom, and he showed it in like the most beautiful ways. I feel like that's why I have the type of husband that I have, because I wouldn't settle for anything less than what I saw, right? So I'm not, if it sounds like I'm like all over the place mentally, is because, again, I'm the baby that they made. So for me to say, oh, it's 100% wrong and you should never be with somebody that's that age, it's like, then I'm in a way saying that like I should have never been born, or like I shouldn't be in existence and things like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if we're having a conversation of like, is this an ideal thing to do? Is this the best outcome? Is a man that's 10 plus years your senior the best for you at the time? Maybe up till you get to around your 40s, maybe. But if y'all 13 years apart and you're 40, how old do you think he's gonna be?
Bishop Demetrius CYNPLE of the Kingdom Church in Texas called for a full investigation into the November 15th marriage of Des Moines Bishop Dwight Reed and Jordan Reed of the Christ Apostolic Temple. Dwight Reed is 63 years old and Jordan Reed is 19.
This marriage tears at the very fiber of the social constructs of the African American family. Children are taught to respect their grandparents' contemporaries, not to marry them.
On April 6th, the newlyweds and the church began protecting the marriage in the court of law by filing a lawsuit together in Polk County against Bishop Demetrius CYNPLE and the Kingdom Church, seeking $1.5 million in damages from libel.
If it were to come to that, again, no statement that we have made is without witnesses.
Iowa law states the minimum age to marry without parental consent is 18, but Bishop CYNPLE claims Jordan's paternal grandfather came on one of CYNPLE's many online platforms alleging clergy abuse.
He came onto the clubhouse and emphatically condemned this marriage. Emphatically, his words were, and I quote, that her father sold his daughter out and pimped her out for his own self-gain.
The lawsuit claims Bishop CYNPLE's allegations have caused severe past and future emotional distress, loss of revenue, as well as a loss of reputation and good standing in the community.
Because of the power imbalances, it is always the responsibility of the caregiver to maintain appropriate and ethical boundaries.
Bishop CYNPLE claims that Jordan's family was given just days' notice of the wedding here at Christ Apostolic Temple. He says that Jordan's father walked her down the aisle that day and willingly gave his blessing, but says that even though it's legal, it may not be ethical.
It was legal to prevent women from voting not long ago.
Court documents also claim that because of the accusations from Bishop CYNPLE online to his 11,000 Facebook followers across the country, Bishop Reed and his wife have been regularly harassed online. Unidentified young men have been coming to their home to harass Mr. and Mrs. Reed, and it has created a decline in temple membership and tithing. Now, the Safe House Unmuzzled Advocacy Group, along with alleged witnesses and other alleged victims, met with the Des Moines Police Department today to discuss the potential of filing charges against Bishop Reed and the temple. No charges have been filed at this time. Interviews are ongoing.
Yeah. So if you trying to remove me, you better talk to God.
Because he the one put me here. And ain't nobody got no power but God. See, they done sent me some stuff about the fella down in Houston running his mouth. And they say, Bishop, and I don't even know these folk. And I wish some of y'all would mess with my wife, Jordan. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. Well, you will see me on the news. Let me just tell you that right now. Talking about what you gonna do if you see her. You better walk by and say, praise the Lord. That's what you better do. Cause that's my wife. And she grown. She didn't need nobody to sign no paperwork for her. Now, if this was out in the streets, y'all be saying she made a come up. But you a hypocrite. So don't you forget the Bible say marriage is honorable. And the Bible said when you find the wife, honey, you find favor with God, honey. I found some favor with God. And we sleeping good at night. Ain't nobody up all night worrying about all these crooks. But I felt I need to say that because somebody talking about what they gonna do if they see you. I'm telling you now, don't let the devil fool you. Because I ain't the one to play with. I get on the other side here. Wish you would. Yeah, you can be the pastor. Yeah, me. It's just too far. It's too far. You start threatening bodily harm, that's a problem. And please don't come over here because everybody in here is packing over here. Please don't come over here showing out. I'm asking you nicely as I know how. Had to get that off because see y'all, you start talking about you talking about you gonna do something here when you see her? Oh, you done went too far now. You done went too far. And I want you to know you done gone too far. Because I ain't gonna do no whole lot of talking. But I'm gonna send a warning out there. Don't you put your hands or try to put your hands on that lady right there. And they got this lie out that my father was forcing folk to get married. You a lie. You jumped up in front of the church when he asked who wanted to get married, and you jumped up.
Because as I began to get older, my father was getting older, so his body was shutting down. And I remember when when me and my mom opened my shop, we had to like do redecorating and stuff. Not a whole bunch. Mercedes was there before me. Girl, it was cute, so I ain't saying it like that, but you know, I had to like make it my own. And we were like pulling some of the flooring up and stuff like that. My father wasn't able to do it. Me and my mom was down there like still right now to this day, my mama could get down, lay down, tile, all types of stuff. I'm gonna put a picture of my mama right here. This is what my mama look like right now. Yeah. So right now, my mama is 61 or 62. I think she's 61. She's 61. And my father would be in his 70s right now. And my father would not look nothing like my mother is looking right now. And I remember before my father passed away, not that he didn't want her to look good or anything like that, but my mother looked different when my father was alive. This is how my mom looked before my father passed away. And this is how my mother looks now. Yeah. So even though they had a great relationship, my mother mentally was 13 years older than she really was. So once my father passed away, she had to reset herself to the age that she really is right now. What is she doing now? What is her life saying now? What does her life look like now without him? And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't think about. And I think one of the main reasons that like the conversation or like hearing me and say things like this is triggering for me is because nobody thinks about things like that. Nobody thinks about this part of the conversation because most of the time it's selfish. It's coming from a man's perspective of what he wants and what works the best for him. And I believe that, and I'm not talking about myself anymore, I believe that when it comes to women, for a very, very long time, there's been this form of like separation and jealousy that keeps women from being the type of protectors that they need to be. For example, this one pastor here, he ends up marrying a girl, and I'm gonna say little girl because she was 18, freshly 18 when he married her. And she had been going, she was a child going to his school since she was a little freaking girl. She had been going to, she went to the middle school, the elementary school that was attached to the church, the elementary school, the middle school, the high school that was attached to the church. And then when she graduated from high school, when she turned 18, she married the pastor. And when you look at the video, I'll put it here. When you look at the video,
so if you trying to remove me, you better talk to God, because he the one put me here. And ain't nobody got no power but God.
you see all of these black women, yeah, and like, what is happening right now? And my thing is, why are we acting like these things are normal? In my opinion, you either have women, and this is coming from my experience, so feel however it is that you want to feel, but I'm not going to sit around and wait for anybody to validate my experience, because these are my experiences. Because when you are a child from a relationship where there's a big age difference, you live in two different worlds. You grow up in two different worlds at the same time. Because peep game, my father's oldest sister is older than my mother's mother. I'm gonna say that again. My father's oldest sister is older than my grandma. My auntie on my daddy's side is older than my mom's mom, than my grandma. Yeah, so I've seen so many things. Most people are like still learning who their aunties and uncles and grandparents and things of that nature are. The type of shit that I've seen, it makes it almost impossible for me to have the type of reverence that everybody just tells you automatically gotta have for older people. I'm almost incapable of doing it because I've seen older people do some of the most horrific things I've ever seen in my life. For example, the horrific things that happen in the household of my father's generation are 10 times worse than the stuff that happened in my mother's generation. It is. So that's why we be like, oh my God, stuff is getting bad. I'm like, what? And right now I'm 35 years old. So at 35 going on 36 years old, the people that were 30 when I was born, think about how old they are right now. But I was watching all of the fucked up stuff that they were doing. I watched all of the horrific things that they did to each other. And now I see today at 36 years old, they're holy. They're judging everybody. They pointing fingers at everybody. They telling everybody they going to hell. That's the reality of it. And these are the conversations that us as Black people don't want to have. And these are the conversations that need to be had. Because it is disgusting that men feel comfortable getting online saying things like that, and in the comments there are men who support it. But the truth of the matter is there'll always be people like that. People will always feel that way, but where is the standard? And when do women begin to take accountability for the things that women tolerate and support? Because most of the times when we go up in churches and stuff like that, it's the men in the church that are doing all of these things. And I'm not getting into Christianity and religion and things like that, but the most horrific things that I've seen happen, said, all of the things, death, drugs, all of the things, my father's side, the holy side. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you people are afraid to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. People think it's cute. Like it's something that like I said, I'm still working on. I'm being honest. Like I'm still working on with it myself. Like it's even a show on Netflix. I can't think of the name of it. I'll like put a screenshot here, and I started watching a couple of episodes just so I can be like, okay, like I can't feel like that about it, especially like after my father passed and I wasn't able to talk to him about it because we talked about everything. I was really angry. Like, what the hell? Like, why would you do that? And in us rebuilding our lives once he was gone, you could feel the age difference. You can feel it. Once he's no longer here and then we're rebuilding everything, you can feel it. So again, I'm not saying, oh, if you in a age gap relationship, it's so horrible and it should never happen. No, because my parents had a beautiful marriage while my father was alive, but my dad's been gone for 12 years and it has not been easy us putting things back together. Like it hasn't. And then like the family dynamic surrounding an age gap relationship is so different because the relationship between family is almost non-existent. Because those women from back in the day, oh my God, the way that they hated on each other and the way that they would spread rumors about each other is literally some of the worst shit ever. It's literally some of the worst shit ever. And once again, for me, the worst part is they're the most holy ones. They're the most holy ones that I refuse to show them any type of respect. So to be honest, like my question is, because I want to do a part 2. I am interested in hearing what a lot of you have to say about this video. And I want to do a part 2 of the conversation, but I don't know. I think more than anything, I even though my parents had a beautiful marriage and all of the things, I still really want there to be some form of accountability. Like, even though I'm a love child and my parents had a great marriage and all of that stuff, I would never be okay with or sit silently while my son or my daughter married somebody drastically older than them. Never. Because everything is good until you start thinking about the other parts. Because when your relationship is so good and he's treating you so good and all of the things, you're not thinking about what's gonna happen when you 50 and he's 70. How that's gonna go. Nobody's really thinking about that and those things. And moreover, okay, if that's what you want to do, I'm skating over my words, because again, I am a child. I'm the baby that came from that relationship. So my perspective is gonna be a lot different than somebody who's just giving their opinion, because this is my real life. I am the manifestation of it. So it's a whole different thing for you to have an opinion about something that created me. You know what I mean? However, before we go deeper in this conversation, I do really want to hear what you have to say about it now. What do you think about it? And do you think that it's okay? And if you do think it's okay, why? And I'm not going to argue with you. I am the baby from the relationship. So I'm not like judging or anything like that. But I will say that I don't support it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think that it's something that should happen, and I would never be okay with my children participating in that. I literally stopped watching that show because of a woman that was like 50 something years old and the dude was like 23. Hell fuck no. And then when you ask them, oh, well, like, why? Every last older person, when you ask them, why do you want to date younger people? Every last one, male and female, they all said they already ran through everybody in their age group and they didn't find nobody good. They ran through everybody in their age group. Stuff ain't work out, so now they want to try somebody else. They want to try somebody who just newly built in their mind and don't have no influence, somebody that they can mold, somebody that's not gonna judge them because they've already lived multiple parts of their life. I think that's effed up. I think that is effed up for one person, for the marriage to be on one side. One person's already lived multiple lives, already been married, had children, fallen in love, falling out of love, going through all of this shit together, and then here this person is, they just got their first fucking credit card 2 years ago. They just got their first credit card last year. I just don't think that that's an equally yoked relationship. I don't think that it should happen, and I think that churches and women like the women in that church are freaking disgusting. I do. I think that it's horrible, and I think that black people specifically, I'm talking to black people because I'm black, and not just black people, everybody. I feel like everybody else should start holding people accountable, because at the end of the day, yes, this is the fuck shit that they used to do when we was younger. Like generations, hundreds of years ago, however, not even hundreds of years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 80 years ago, a girl started on her period, they marrying her off to a 40-year-old man. It's fucking disgusting, and it's disgusting now in 2026 because of the way that these men speak about women and young girls. No young girl should be with no old ass Trick daddy. Trick love the kids. Like, it's ridiculous. Your Trick does. He loves the fucking kids, doesn't he? I think it's gross, and I think that we need to talk about it, and I think that there needs to be more accountability. Again, hope you hear my perspective from knowing my story, and let's talk in the comments.